Competitive strategy, I look at it as how you win in a brutal marketplace.
It's basically a course that focuses on how and why firms make decisions, specifically looking at their interactions with not just the market, but other firms as well. It's kind of an extension of the competitor core course that we take during our first year.
No business exists in a vacuum. There are always going to be competitors. I think it's really important to understand the basics of game theory, economic principle, corporate strategy to make sure that you can survive.
Think about driving a car around some stationary trees, for example, versus driving a car in an environment with other people driving cars, and you're trying not to hit them. That's a much harder problem, and that's a little bit the kind of problem that we teach about in competitive strategy. You're setting a price, but your rival is also setting a price.
The first phase of the course is all kind of theory and building those fundamentals. That's where we'll use our economic models quite heavily early on, and then we move into static competition and dynamic competition. And so as we progress through the course, we go from economic theory to real-world application of that economic theory.
The best part of the course so far has been the professors. It's co-taught by 3 different professors, and they're all each experts in their fields.
The classroom is very dynamic. Everyone's raising their hands, asking questions, challenging each other.
How the course is structured by the instructors, they try to make it quite relevant to what's going on in the day-to-day currently. It's not a historical course, it's quite contemporary.
Corporate strategy is kind of like the capstone section of the course, and it's kind of like taking a zoomed out look at the overarching strategy that a firm may have.
The Planet Fitness case was one of the corporate strategy cases, and it was focused on vertical scope and franchising. We were trying to understand what are the decision nodes that companies use to decide whether or not to go to vertically integrate more or to use like a more franchising model. And that class was really fun because we took things like the profit maximization equation that we had used before, and we tailored it to the needs of a franchise model and adjusted it to include something like royalty fees.
It really crystallized a lot of the concepts to be able to just think about a particular case. And I think what was great about the Planet Fitness case and also the Disney case, which talked about horizontal scope, was that it wasn't necessarily clear cut.
Whether you're going to consulting like me, or you want to go open up your own company, or you have your own startup venture, the course gives you a really good framework, a really good kind of toolbox of things that you can kind of go back to and use to make business decisions, but it also gives you a lot of reps at doing it.